want Liberian Looster, one of four players. I want Liberian Looster, got one of four players. I want Liberian people, we choose success. I want Liberian people, we choose success.
Mr. President, Honorable Mohammed Enzadala, Mr. President-elect Honorable Kafuma Kroma, heads and chairperson of our sister organizations, elders, clergy, dignitaries, guests, and well-wishers, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. The guest speaker is the daughter of Nima County. She started her education at the William V. S. Tubby Elementary School in Bay, Nima County. She's the daughter of Ali Haji Musa Jabateh and Haja Mamawa Kabelu Jabateh, both of whom are deceased. May their soul rest in peace. Amen. She is the founding vice president of FAMUSA, former deputy commissioner at the Bureau of Maritime Affairs in Monrovia, Liberia, and former deputy minister and acting minister of planning and economic affairs at the Ministry of Planning and Economic Affairs in Monrovia, Liberia. Our guest speaker is a lawyer by profession. Please welcome Counselor Mameita Jabateh for me.
Thank you. So many women around here. Well, the Minnesota Mandingo Association decided to call upon me. I'm so happy and delighted for that. Wow. I'm very happy to be here tonight. I want to thank this organization for inviting me to share with you some insights about how to empower women through education and leadership. One of the most difficult words to define is the word education. There are as many definitions of education as there are educators. For me, there are two definitions of education that I like. Those I wish to share with you tonight. Education is the idle process of imparting or acquiring general knowledge for a particular purpose. Process of imparting or acquiring general knowledge, developing the power of reasoning and judgment, and generally of preparing oneself or others intellectually for mature life. That is the first explanation or definition of education in this 5 parts definition. Secondly, education is the act or process of acquiring particular knowledge or skill as for a profession. Thirdly, education is a degree, level or kind of schooling, a university education. Fourth, education is a result produced by instruction, training, or study. Education is a science or art of teaching pedagogics. Education is not only book learning. Education is what one learns from the cradle to the grave. We are educated through the experiences we gain throughout our entire life. We gain education every day. Some of the education stays with us through our lives. Some are important education, and others are less important. Education is only important if you can use it, experience it physically, mentally, emotionally, or intellectually. The other definition that I cherish is not from the dictionary. A friend shared this with me once. He said, even what you know. Education is knowing what to do and where to seek and find some information when you need it. Education is knowing where to find your resources when you need them. So then we ask the question, education for what? The answer is education for empowerment, education for social change, and education for capacity building. Education also for critical consciousness. Education helps you to be aware of your surrounding, yourself, and your world. Education also helps you to know about other people. Our theme today is education for empowering of women for capacity building and leadership. How do we do that? Empowerment comes through education. When women are educated, they have the ability or capacity to make their own decisions and own choices. When women are educated, they have the ability or capacity to get higher paying jobs, higher profile positions in their places of work. For women that are married, they need husbands that are understanding, that they and their daughters need to have some education so that their lives will be improved. The society from which we come, women always depend upon their husbands to be the provider in the home. But nowadays, educated women have the ability to be the head of household and provide for themselves and their children. Liberia, Malawi, and other countries where women are head of state are a good example of what education can do for a society. It is a common knowledge that empowered women are protectors of and advocate for the continual well-being of their family. When a child is sick in the home, who feels does the child see late at night and early in the morning? Is it not the fears of the mother? Both men and women need education. But in this recent time, who prepares food for the home? Who takes care of the children? Who does most of the housework and cleaning, putting things in place in the home? Is it not women? Girls who have been educated are likely to marry later and to have small and helpless families. Educated women can recognize the importance of healthcare and know how to seek it for themselves and their children. Education helps girls and women to know their rights and to gain confidence to claim them. However, women literacy rate are significantly lower than men in most developing countries. This is what makes education exceedingly crucial, especially for Mandingo and other women. Mandingo women for long were not given the opportunities to acquire Western education. Most of the education Mandingo women received were traditional and probably Quranic education. The boys were sent to school and girls were left behind. The role of women were expected to be different, and the roles of men were expected to be different roles in our traditional society. There was strict division of labor. Even children had their roles. The women were expected to be basically homemakers, child buriers, and caretakers. But in today's world, men and women are competing for the same opportunities, the same job, and same education. Unless you acquire that education, life will continue to be difficult, just as it was for our foremothers and those that have gone before us. A new day has arisen. We are at the twilight zone when the day of a new generation is breaking before our eyes. Things will not always be the same. The 21st century brings its own challenges and opportunities we must face. Technological changes are taking place all around us at the speed of light. We cannot afford to regress. We must move forward, or else we will be left behind. The same literature I quoted above also remarked that the education of parents is linked to the children's education at teen, and the mother's education is usually influential than the father's. An educated mother, greater influence in the household negotiation, may allow her to secure more resources, courage, and the means to acquire it. This requires determination, hard work, and the capacity to be focused on your goal. If I can do it, you can do it. If other women can do it, we can do it. When you are educated, you will want your children to be educated because you will know firsthand the value of education. That is the challenge Mandingo as well as other women face around the world. And your earning will be higher. You will be able to demonstrate your skills and knowledge in any particular field like any other woman. It is not usually where you came from, but it is where you are going that matters. In most instances now, it is not what you know or who you know, but what you can do that matters. It is a blessing to have many children. But nowadays, there are just too many demands out there competing for our loyalty and allegiance that we have to prioritize and be discreet about the choices we make. In the past, our parents had to make decisions about which children to educate and which one not to educate. They too had so many children, and you know which children were left out. But an educated woman will make sure she bears only the number of children she is able to support. Women are an asset to every society. Women are the cornerstone of the family, the home, the community, and even the larger society we live in. Our roles should be more than just caretaker, child buriers, and homemakers. We should be able to participate fully in our society, contribute our quota to building our institution beyond just caretaking and homemaking. Where then does the empowerment come in? When we are able and willing to send our children to school, I mean both boys and girls, that is the channel through which empowerment takes place. We should build a culture of excellence and inclusiveness. Being a Mandingo woman, I know that the road is filled with many obstacles that can make the educational path challenging for females. Being there, done that, I know what I am talking about. It is not easy being a woman in a man's world, but the challenge is not insurmountable. The ranking is hard, but with family and community support, we can gain the strength to claim that mountain. Sometimes, female students from Africa or other parts of the world face a daunting task with cultural and social challenges related to identity or health issues. Our girls should be supported as they achieve their goals. When we teach our girls to have strong moral characters and take on social responsibilities, we are encouraging them to do education. We as adults must encourage a supportive community that create access pathway for them, no matter what that profession is. So long they earn endless wages and endless work, that is considered as education for empowerment. Career development opportunities must be made available to our girls so that they can choose career and profession they want. When we teach our girls to respect their elders and to respect authorities and keep away from drugs, alcohol, and not engage in or participate in habits that harm, that is considered as education for empowerment. When we teach our girls set goals for themselves and teach them how to love and respect others, especially their mothers and their fathers and all family members, we are providing an education for empowerment. Education is not always in the classroom. Education takes place everywhere and every time we interact with one another. Teaching our girls at home and letting them know that it is important to learn their own culture, their own language, and their meaning of essential symbol in the community. That too is considered as education for empowerment. Only education can much of our problem be resolved. I'm not only advocating education, I am advocating the right education, education for a purpose, and that purpose must be kept in view all the time. I know some of you men who are sitting here today, who are listening to me, would like to have very good, a well-trained, and well-educated woman, so that you both can make a decent living. The fathers, the grandfathers, the sisters, the brothers, the aunts, they are all challenged to create a conducive environment where women empowerment is a value as a primary task in society building. Our community. In leadership, people disrespect action reflecting low or negative standards like dishonesty, arrogance, or unfairness. So if you want to lead people, you must be fair, you must be just, you must be honest, and you must not be arrogant. The next quality of a good leader is a capacity or ability to be a good listener. Listen to what your members are telling you. Be able to hear the yes in every no and the no in every yes. By listening to your members, you will learn what needs to be changed and what needs to be done. You will know what new initiative to honor right as a group and what to discard and abandon. The football captain depends on all the non-players on the team to move the ball from their goal to the other goal to score. He does not move the ball by himself. He depends on all the other players to score a goal. Leadership is a teamwork. Leadership is not an exact science like arithmetic. In arithmetic, we learn that 2 + 2 is 4. Leadership does not work like that. Leadership is an adventure because you can never be sure whether you will reach your goal, at least this time. So as a leader, you have to try again and again, using other methods, other means, other avenues, and other ways to get to where you want to go. But you still use the same process, the process of good leadership. Leadership is a responsibility. Remember that all members of the Minnesota Mandingo Association will look up to you. That the job as an officer will be just an honor. It is more than that. It means that the members of the organization expect you to take the responsibility of getting the job done. Tonight, we honor you. They will do the job. If you don't, they will expect you to do the job all by yourself. My husband, Sirleaf, most often tells me that every right is a responsibility, and every privilege is an obligation. So this privilege to be an officer of the Minnesota Mandingo Association puts an obligation upon you. You know leadership is not always to lead the people by going ahead of them. A leader who moves ahead of his people is bound to lose them and leave them behind. People who have gone to the Middle East tell us that the shepherds in the field watching over their flocks, at the end of the day's work, when the shepherds are ready to take their animals home, they walk behind them. They do not go ahead. A shepherd does not walk ahead by walking behind the sheep. He sees which lamb or which sheep is going astray, and he will go after that one and navigate them to their fold. Sometimes, good leadership requires that we walk behind our people instead of in front of them. That is why it is so important that you begin right now to learn what leadership is all about. Being elected as a leader of an organization does not automatically make you a good leader, but it identifies you as a person who others want to follow. If you lead them, do so by showing leadership, by giving direction. A leader is one who enables others and empowers others. A leader is a capacity builder. You are not a finished leader. No one ever is, not even a president or a prime minister. But you are an explorer of the human mind, because you are now going to try to learn how to get things done to the people. This is the key to leadership. You are searching for the secret of leadership. Many of them lie right inside you. As you discover them and practice them, you will join a special group of skilled people. Thank you for inviting me to talk to you tonight. All of us who participate in the empowerment of our guys and women in the capacity building and leadership, and the community is looking forward to you and your leadership team for its good work as we strive collectively to build our homes, our neighborhood, and our community, and the larger society. I thank you.
Wow, wow. Yes, that was a masterpiece. And I can tell you, we're going to use it as a textbook. And I will add, if you empower a woman, you empower the world. Councilor Mameita, Jabateh, Sirleaf, I think of course, the chairmen of the $5 million mission we usually take every other year to Liberia, which is famous. I mean, the contribution this young fellow has made to this community, going to philanthropic and going to donor to ensure that we have the necessary medical equipment to take to Liberia. Honorable Joseph Saka, your contribution is a man, sir.